Juventus against Fiorentina. The tension here has been mounting for some time. And here's how the two teams reached the final. First Juventus, a win in the first round over Gorlik, then Paris Saint-Germain. Karl-Marx-Stadt were the next to be dispatched. Hamburg in the quarterfinals and Cologne in the semi-finals. Fiorentina, well, they disposed of Atletico Madrid in the first round on penalties. Sochaux of France on the away goals, then Dynamo Kiev, a really difficult match. They survived there. Auxerre of France, and then in the semi-finals, they came through on that vital away goal against Werder Bremen in Germany. So the scene is set then for the final. As we look then at the two teams, the pride of Fiorentina, of course, is Roberto Baggio, the latest pin-up boy of Italian football, and he has just been named in the Italian World Cup squad. Lubos Kubik, the Czechoslovakian star, and Carlos Dunga of Brazil, they're both certain to feature in the tournament too. Graziani then, the coach who's only taken over very recently, with Fiorentina's fortunes in the league falling away. Graziani brought in, and he's guided them to the final. Here's the Juventus side. Four members of this team are at the Italian World Cup squad. Goalkeeper Tacconi, Luigi De Agostini, Marocchi and Schillaci, the striker whose goal-scoring exploits and front-running have been such a revelation this season. It's Juventus against Fiorentina. Join us after the break. Welcome back to the Stadio Comunale in Turin as Cup Night on Eurosport brings you the whole of the UEFA Cup. First leg in the final, it's Juventus in the stripes kicking off against Fiorentina. Two Italian sides have battled through to the final. Juventus then kicking from left to right, hoping for their first European success since 1985. And Fiorentina playing in their first UEFA Cup final. A cracking atmosphere in the stadium, not too many spare spaces here. And this, in fact, the last major occasion to be staged in the Stadio Comunale. Juventus moving to their new arena fairly soon. And the World Cup matches will be played there, and Juventus domestic games in the future. Two legs of the final, and the second leg will be played on neutral territory after problems for Fiorentina in the home leg against Werder Bremen in the semi-final. A lot of crowd trouble, and they have been ordered to play the second leg at least 300 kilometers away from Florence, and it looks as if it's going to be played in Lecce. So some of that home advantage has been taken away from Fiorentina for the return, so they really can't afford to go down by too many goals tonight. The onus is on Juventus, though, to force the pace in this home leg. A dry, mild night in Turin, but passions are running high. This is Del Olio taking the throw for Fiorentina, who've only just survived at the Italian First Division. They beat Atalanta at the weekend to maintain their First Division status. If they'd lost, well, they could have gone down. They finished just 1 point above the relegation places. But it's when it's come to the big occasions, well, they really have performed exceptionally well this season, Fiorentina. Especially in that semi-final when they came through at the expense of Werder Bremen, who've been favourites to go through. Schillaci in the right place once again. An incredible start for Juventus. Schillaci got away down the right. And Gallia are leading Fiorentina by 1-0. Just 2 minutes gone. A fantastic start then for Juventus. And what a test of character now for Fiorentina. Schillaci. It was his pace down the flank that set up the chance. And Galea timed his run to perfection. Well, it was a shock when Juventus beat AC Milan to win the Italian Cup recently, and it was Galea who scored the only goal. The Marocchi with the free kick. This is De Agostini, one of the internationals in the Juventus side, Italian internationals that is. As I mentioned, he's been named to the World Cup squad and looks a fairly certain starter in the 11 that will be fielded in the first game. Injury, of course, permitting. This is Dunga, the Brazilian. How will Fiorentina respond here? Juventus have finished fourth in the Italian league, which by their high standards is a bit of a disappointment, really. Behind Napoli, the champions, AC Milan and Inter Milan. But they've won the cup, and they're hoping now to add the UEFA Cup. Well, they couldn't have asked for a better opening. But here's Nappi. Good effort! Tipped over the top by Tacconi. A stirring response then from Fiorentina. And Tacconi had to be at his most alert then. Little Marco Nappi with his left foot. I think it took a deflection there, and Tacconi acrobatically tips it over. So Fiorentina bouncing straight back. No foul seen by the referee, who's from Spain, FIFA referee Aladrén Soriano. This is Bonetti for Juventus. Alenikov, one of the two Soviet Union players in the Juventus squad, and I say squad because Zavarov has been left out of the Juventus side. That was Kubik threading it through that for Fiorentina. Pozzo, who's on loan from Juventus to Fiorentina. Alenikov. Give it away though to Nappi. Baggio. Best we've seen of him. He's just possessed by Kelly. Alenikov. Every indication that this will be a very competitive contest. Alenikov. Juventus 1, Fiorentina 0. Galea the scorer inside 3 minutes. Nappi. Here's Dunga. Down he goes. Take your pick who found him there. Two Juventus players. De Agostini's in trouble. Alenikov. It looks as if he committed the foul. And De Agostini has got the worst of it. Outstanding defender though, De Agostini makes so many probing runs down the flanks. Dunga. Dell'Olio. Pass there was too long for Baggio. The golden boy of Italian football. And I wonder what role he'll play in the World Cup finals. Piccini, the Italian coach, doesn't quite know how to accommodate him. He's rather like Paul Gascoigne of England, a very talented player who could be brilliant one moment, but rather anonymous the next. Dunga, one of the stars of the Brazilian side that reached the World Cup finals and won the South American Championship last summer. Dell'Olio. Nappi. And Baggio going in. And it came off Galea. who scored at one end and then rescued his team at the other. And safely into the arms, the welcome arms of Ciccone. Baggio clashing there with Gallia. A very lively start to this game. It's a bad tackle went though from Volpacina on Schillaci, so they're well aware of the threat that he poses. Volpacina, an experienced defender, and he made certain then that Schillaci didn't make progress. Here's the free kick. Whistle's gone. Free kick to Fiorentina. Di Chiara was the player back there for them. Tangling here. And offside. Landucci, though, beaten so early on, which will rather have shattered his confidence. Marocchi. Referee waving play on. Busso. So anxious to impress against the club who've loaned him then to Fiorentina. Nice little touch then from the referee. Not intentional, I'm sure. Busso most certainly could. Well, I was just saying how determined Busso is to do here. To do well here against Juventus, who've loaned him then to Fiorentina. And with 10 minutes gone, it's Busso. Renato Busso, who has equalised for Fiorentina and really set up this UEFA Cup final. It's the voices now of the Fiorentina fans that we're hearing around the stadium. Such a setback when Gallia scored. But Fiorentina have kept their nerve, they've settled, and now they have scored too. It's 1-1. And I would think now that Landucci and his teammates are breathing just a little easier. This is Baggio. That's good skill. Ran straight into Bonetti though, and here is Bonetti again. Came from Verona last summer to add his experience to the Juventus side. Del Olio. Baggio. They won't allow him any time at all though to turn. Del Olio is the player down hurt. Baggio losing out there to Aladrén, and then Marocchi caught Del Olio. Had 6 years with Ascoli. Del Olio before moving to Fiorentina last summer. And that's how pleased they are with the way things are going at the moment. The fans of Fiorentina. Del Olio is okay. Brio just shepherding the ball over the goal line. Goal kick to Juventus. Hoping to revive those halcyon days back in the early 80s, when they were such a force in European and world football. But since winning the European Cup on that ill-fated night in the Heysel Stadium against Liverpool, and also going on to win the World Club Championship, Juventus hadn't won any competition until they took the Italian Cup against AC Milan recently. Another foul on Schillaci. Volpacina is following him everywhere. This is Marocchi. Another of the shining lights in Italian football. Napoli with the mistake. Throw to Fiorentina. Taken by Pin. An explosive start to the game then with those two early goals. Let's hope this final produces some more too. A very promising start anyway. Belolio with the throw. Too long though for Nappi. Alenikov. Brio, the captain. Marocchi. Schillaci trying to get the better of Volpacina, who's sticking so tightly to him, and the decision going in favour of Fiorentina. Schillaci with 15 goals this season, and he's been a sensation really. Signed as something of a stopgap, Schillaci, because Juventus were let down on other players they tried to buy, among them Muller, the Brazilian from Torino. Marocchi. But such has been the form of Schillaci, who I was talking about there, that he's forced his way then into the World Cup squad. Marocchi. Rui Barros, the Portuguese star. Bonetti spreading the play, trying to find Casiraghi as Juventus look to restore their lead. De Agostini riding the tackles and hoping to slip onto the return pass from Rui Barros. But it carried too much weight. Looking on the Fiorentina substitutes, wondering if they're going to share a taste of the action later. Belolio. That was Battistini's clearance. He's the captain of Fiorentina. Now Dunga. He's the playmaker in midfield. But this time rather overhitting the pass in search of Nappi. Bonetti for Juventus. Dunga. Pozzo. Scorer of the Fiorentina goal. Got away from one defender, but not the other. Alenikov taking the throw quickly. Here's Marocchi. As Juventus again look to step up the pace. Good defensive header. Now Di Chiara, who has a lot of pace. Nappi's made the run through the middle to open up some space for him. Baggio now. Cleverly done, and Nappi was arriving through the middle. And my word, he's working hard. Number 7, Marco Nappi. But that was set up that time by the run from Di Chiara. Here's Nappi now, feels for offside. Nothing given. And Tacconi had the angle right. He's furious with the defenders ahead of him. He'd come a long way out then, but the angle was too tight for Nappi. Juventus survive. Gallia. Schillaci going in inevitably with Volpacina. And they're having quite a scrap, these two. Schillaci. Gallia. Chance to cross it in, and the header, I think, from Casiraghi going wide. But it's a very open game so far. I think there was a fear that... Casiraghi there has got a battered nose. I think there was a fear that Fiorentina might have tried to close the game down and just contain Juventus. But it's not looking that way at the moment. They've shown plenty of attacking ideas, and they've been rewarded with a goal. Baggio. Here's Marocchi. "20 minutes gone in the first half of this UEFA Cup final, first leg in Turin. The honours even so far. Schillaci. And has he forced the corner? He has. Marocchi going over to take it. And the header flashing across the goal then. It was Gallia again. The man who struck for Juventus so early in the game. And he wasn't too far away then from adding a second goal. Getting in before Dichiara. The crowd here totally immersed in this final. A long, long way to go yet with the second leg to come. It would seem in Lecce. Baggio. That's an excellent pass. Pozzo! Well, the intentions of Napoli were just enough to put him off there. As Pozzo went through, he had the strength. You'll see the tackle, though, from Napoli, and Pozzo was rather off balance when he shot. But he is certainly causing problems up front for Fiorentina. One of the most promising young strikers in Italian football, Renato Pozzo. And with the Argentine Dettissier out through a long-term injury, Pozzo has been thrust into the firing line. Here's Dunga. Graziani. Wondering if his team can survive this first leg. Rubalos. Schillaci. Here's Gallia. Napoli with the cross. And Fiorentina get it away. Dunga now. Battistini breaking forward and finding Nappi. And again Juventus at full stretch. Dichiara's in the middle. Shot driven through and wide by Kubik. But they broke so quickly then from defence to attack. And I think the shot took a deflection on the way. And it was the captain and central defender Battistini who led the charge, sending Nappi away. Shot from Kubik, and the corner comes to nothing. Tacconi, who looks like being the number 2 goalkeeper to Montezengo of Inter Milan in the World Cup finals. Misunderstanding there between Gallia and Rui Baros. And the back pass might have been punished. But safely through to Marco Landucci. Brio to Bonetti. Juventus, who've won the UEFA Cup on one previous occasion, back in 1977. Dino Zoff was their goalkeeper then, and they beat Athletic Bilbao of Spain in the final. Kubik for Fiorentina. Their first UEFA Cup final, remember. Dunga. Here's Nappi. Kubik. The whistle's gone. I think offside there against Di Chiara. Bonetti. Very careless there, Baggio. And just for a moment he looked up at goal then and perhaps thought about a shot. But instead it's a more patient build-up here from Fiorentina. Battistini. Here's Baggio. Kubik with Battistini. No foul. The referee with arms aloft, indicating that play can go on. No joy for Casiraghi, marauding up front for Juventus. But they have the throw here, taken by De Agostini. Bonetti. Too long. And that has displeased the Juventus supporters in the stadium. Not though, I think, Graziani, whose team have recovered so admirably from that early shot when Gallia scored. Graziani, of course, a great battler up front in his heyday. Played in the '82 World Cup final along with Dino Zoff. Di Chiara with Nappi. Well, he didn't get hold of it, but again, they found him at the far post. And he's taken up that position so well. Always seems to be available, Marco Nappi. And it was his breakaway goal that steered Fiorentina through to the final. A vital away goal in Germany against Werder Bremen. And then the goalless draw at home to secure the place in the final. What a pity it was marred by the crowd trouble, which could now be very costly indeed. Schillaci slipping at the vital moment. But here's Gallia. That has to be a foul, surely. And in fact, Rui Barros then, I think, was holding off Del Olio. Let's look at it again here. That's the decision of the referee anyway, so it's a free kick to Fiorentina. Once Del Olio is able to resume. And that's a rather nasty graze there. Well, plenty more football, of course, coming up on Eurosport fairly shortly on Saturday the 5th of May. You can see Brazil against Bulgaria. The Brazilians warming up towards the World Cup. That match is live. 2000 in the UK, 2100 for the rest of Europe. And next Wednesday, the Cup Winners' Cup final. Sampdoria, last season's beaten finalist against Anderlecht, the Belgian side. That promises to be quite a match. That's on Wednesday the 9th of May, 2200 in the UK, 2300 the rest of Europe. So hopefully you'll join us for those matches on Eurosport. We'll be showing, of course, the second leg of this UEFA Cup final and also the final of the European Champions Cup. AC Milan and Benfica. And that's a header from Nappi. So again, he's had room in the penalty area. Picked up this time by Kubik. And Nappi, who's not the tallest man on the field by a long way, guiding his header into the grateful arms of Taccone. It's 1-1, it's very evenly balanced. And Graziani can't keep still. Only took over in March. And he is leaving, as I was saying earlier on. Also Dino Zoff, they're both going. Graziani, despite his success in just the few short weeks that he's been in charge, and he'll be replaced by the Brazilian manager, Sebastião Lazzaroni. And Dino Zoff, when he goes, Gigi Maifredi, who's been with Bologna, takes charge of Juventus. And quite a few of the players are moving on too. Among them Zavarov, the Soviet Union player, who's not in the starting lineup for Juventus. And Rui Barros from Portugal, he's going too. And Baggio, well, he could be moving to Juventus. Here's Baggio now in possession. He's certainly going somewhere come the end of the season. Speculation is rife as to which club he will be joining. Ichiare, who started very promisingly in this game, probing constantly at the Juventus defence. A player who's come on in leaps and bounds in recent seasons. Just working some space for himself there, and Taccone right behind it. Kubik. Delalio to Kubik again. Baggio offside. And Juventus do seem to be the favourites to sign Baggio, as he was recently on the front page of an Italian magazine, apparently wearing the kit of Juventus. So I think he's made his feelings known. But what a talent. And the fee they're talking about, £9 million. Pin for Fiorentina, who've given a brave account of themselves so far in this first leg of the UEFA Cup final. 1-1 if you're just joining us. Gallia after just 2 minutes for Juventus, and then the reply on 10 minutes from Busso for Fiorentina. Kubik. Well, the referee did well there, just hesitating to see if Juventus had the advantage, and when he realised that they hadn't, he awarded the free kick for what was, of course, a foul. Bonetti. Swapping passes with Rui Barros. Rather careless defending. Can Juventus punish them here? Schillaci no way through. Bonetti. Well read by Busso. Nappi. Tigerishly batting on. Now Baggio. Oh, Taccone out to defy him. Nappi now. Taccone struggling to get back. And Juventus finally clear it away. But Baggio then was clean through. And he will be so disappointed. Nappi's pass was an excellent one. Baggio had time to look up, but all of a sudden Taccone was closing down on him. And he came out quickly enough then to prevent Baggio from scoring. Dunga with the shot here. And what an adventurous first half it's been from Fiorentina. They certainly haven't come here just to defend. Marocchi. And but for the goalkeeping of Taccone and perhaps a little sharper finishing, Fiorentina could easily be leading here. Fantastini. Plenty of time though for Bonetti. One of the two central defenders. The markers at the back for Juventus. Foul by Rui Barros. He pleads his innocence to the linesman. But Pin says, what about my leg then? Well, he certainly tripped him. Celeste Pin, 29 now, and around 200 appearances in his 8 years with Fiorentina. So very much part and parcel of the club. Dunga, how well he controlled that ball then. That was Brazilian skill. Superb control. Dunga again. Olenikov hasn't really got into this game yet. Rui Barros might here. Oh, they were hacking away at him. Schillaci goes down. Rui Barros. Oh, was he held back then? By Volpacina, and the referee is pointing, but he's pointing for a goal kick. Volpacina there with Schillaci. Rui Barros nipping in. Now, was he impeded there? The referee says no. And Rui Barros very disappointed. As I mentioned earlier, Rui Barros, one of the players who's departing, and Juventus have signed Thomas Hassler, the West German from Cologne, to play for them next season. But they haven't had that much success really, Juventus, in terms of their overseas players in recent years, not really since Boniek and Platini. Ian Rush, of course, didn't really come off the Liverpool striker. And although Rui Barros has done well, and Zavarov has done reasonably so, they haven't been as prominent as Juventus would have hoped. Schillaci taking the free kick very quickly. Down goes Olenikov. Napoli with the cross. Pozzo quite happy to come back and help out. Scorer of the Fiorentina goal. Napoli to Bonetti. The Juventus fans want them to go forward. Dunga so easily creates space for himself, but then uncharacteristically an error. Olenikov. Juventus looking to turn the screw here. Gallia, not this time though. Away by Dunga. Baggio. Now does he have the pace here? Nappi in support. Played through by Baggio and beyond Nappi. Juventus 1, Fiorentina 1 for this first leg of the UEFA Cup final in Turin. Di Chiara. Nappi, offside. Italians, of course, represented in all three European finals, with AC Milan defending the European Cup and Sampdoria playing in the Cup Winners' Cup final, hoping to make amends for last year when they missed out to Barcelona. So although the league season is finished in Italy, there's still plenty to play for before the World Cup finals get underway. Dunga for Fiorentina. Seeing so much of the ball in the first half. And he can be so influential when he's in the mood. Gallia, though, for Juventus. Marocchi. Good player, this fellow. Watch out for him in the World Cup. Pozzo. Fouled by Gallia. Graziani still preferring to stand rather than sit in his seat on the bench. Dunga's free kick. Poorly weighted though this time, the pass. Tacconi 32 now, but he's reminded us already tonight just how agile a goalkeeper he can be. Dichiara. Gallia. Five minutes to half-time. Alenikov to Rui Baros. Just 5'5". Well, that was a dangerous ball he floated in there. Valpacina down hurt as Rui Baros sprinted towards the line and then pulled it back. Flags up anyway for offside. And Valpacina has a head wound. Oh, and he's clashing there with Schillaci, who's unnecessarily really getting involved. And the referee wants Valpacina off the field so that he can receive attention. The Spanish referee wants to get on with it. Schillaci, he gets kicked there. Well, the head wound doesn't seem too bad, and Valpacina able to continue. A little exchange of words there with Schillaci. Rui Baros, the smallest player, in fact, in the Italian First Division. Alenikov, well, that was sloppy, and he was lucky to get away with that then, Alenikov. Gallia. Schillaci. Good cross in. Well, are they a case for a penalty there? Casiraghi certainly felt he deserved a penalty. Well, look at it again here as it's floated over. Now, there was an arm out. Down went Casiraghi. And the appeals from Brio and the Juventus players are in vain. Signor Soriano has dismissed their claims for a penalty. Gallia's header. Schillaci. Juventus now looking to press for a second goal. Schillaci again. He's had a good first half. Napoli's cross. Oh, the goalkeeper was committed, and he just got back in time. He started to come then, Landucci. Thought better of him, and as he was backtracking, he was able to make the save, but only just. Brio's attempted shot was charged down. Dichiara. Gallia. He's a very tidy player, Gallia. And a goal scorer too, as he's shown tonight. Alenikov. Beaten though by Kubik. In goes Rui Baros. He's like a miniature tank. And even the referee had a duck there. It's getting pretty fierce out there. Pozzo turned back into trouble. Alenikov now for Juventus. That'll be a free kick. Not long left now in the first half. Juventus 1, Fiorentina 1. Alenikov pulled down by Pozzo. Started the '86 World Cup for the Soviet Union, Alenikov, and also the European Championships in '88. The header way over the bar from Brio, who's the last survivor, really, of that great Juventus side of the early '80s. 10 years now with the club. And what a marvellous servant Brio has been. Sergio Brio, 33 years old now. Dunga. We're into the last minute of the first half. Pozzo. The free kick is in favour of Fiorentina, I think, is it? Some confusion out there. Dunga not in too much of a hurry at this stage. I think Fiorentina settling for the chance to chat things over at half-time. Hoots and the whistles of derision from the Juventus following. In the last few seconds then of the first half, we're now into time added on for injuries. Bonetti to Alenikov. Gallia. Schillaci trying to shake off Volpacina. Then Dunga's tackle right on the edge of the area. And as Alenikov tried to play it through, the whistle had gone anyway. Schillaci got away from Volpacina for once, not from Dunga. We've had a minute now of stoppage time. That's how close that was to being a penalty. Marocchi with the free kick. Rui Barros has to chase back. Bonetti. It's Pozzo back here defending again. Very composed he was too. Well, the referee has had a look at the watch. So we're almost at the end of the first half now. This is Marocchi. Alenikov. Fiorentina with everybody back defending. Baggio. This is Nappi. And there is the whistle to end the first half. And a very eventful one it has been too. Gallia giving Juventus the lead. Pozzo coming back with the equaliser just a few minutes later for Fiorentina. And it's all set here for the second half. Join us after the break. Welcome back to the Stadio Comunale in Turin. And the first leg of the UEFA Cup final at half-time. It's Juventus 1, Fiorentina 1. The first ever all-Italian final of this competition. And it's very evenly poised then at the halfway stage. And in case you missed them, let's look back on the 2 goals from the first half. And it really was a terrific start. But then Pozzo with the equaliser on 10 minutes as Fiorentina steadied themselves. And they have certainly been well in this UEFA Cup final so far. As the half wore on, chances for both teams. Juventus had a penalty appeal turned down, but Fiorentina, good value for sharing the spoils thus far. The second half then just underway. Fiorentina now kicking from left to right. Well, this is Nappi, who posed plenty of problems in the first half with his direct running and his willingness to take players on and take up useful positions too. Marocchi now for Juventus. brought Alessio on at the start of the second half. Juventus. Player they signed from Bologna last summer. And I think it is Napoli who's gone off. Bonetti. Gallia. This is Aladrén. De Agostini. Schillaci. He goes Rui Banos. He'll chase anything, this man. Took a while for the Juventus fans to warm to Rui Banos. He wasn't a big name when he came. And he's won them over. And I think some of the Juventus fans will be sorry to see him go. But he is being replaced, as I was mentioning in the first half. Alessio making a positive run along that right flank. So more defending for Landucci and company to do right at the start of the second half. Marocchi with the corner. Kubik, the Czechoslovakian player, who had a spell with Derby County in England, but had problems getting a work permit. He more or less defected from Czechoslovakia, but he's sorted everything out now. He's back in favour, and he returned to score a goal against England in his first international back for a while. Schillaci to Casiraghi. Aladrén. Schillaci turning well. Aladrén. Thought he'd lost his footing for a second, but here's Aladrén now. He's a player with an explosive shot. But not this time. That's Alessio, the substitute. And looking round, it seems to be Brio, in fact, who has been replaced at half-time. Brio, the central defender, and the captain, of course. Now, Marocchi. Alessio. Hustled out of it, though. Aladrén's header. Gallia. Campbell. Juventus looking to take up the initiative again. Had a good spell towards the end of the first half when they threatened another goal. And that one's gone all the way through to Landucci, who has a reputation for being fairly reliable, but he committed a dreadful error that cost Fiorentina a goal against Werder Bremen in the semi-final. Not too costly in the end, with Fiorentina going through, but a terrible mix-up on a corner, which gave Werder Bremen an equaliser right at the end of the first leg in Germany, after Nappi had given Fiorentina the lead. Now Baggio. Surely Pozzo was offside then anyway, but here's Aladrén. Good interception by Dunga. Baggio beaten though. Bonetti. The crowd doing their best to lift Juventus. Pegged back to 1-1 at the moment. Alessio taking the throw. Came off Schillaci. Well, that's the linesman's decision anyway. Schillaci, I don't think, agreed. Dunga taking his time, much to the annoyance of the Juventus following. Dichiara. Well, the tackles are flying in thick and fast here. Dunga has a reputation for being a hard tackling player for all his Brazilian flair. And he was very impressive, Dunga, in the build-up towards the World Cup qualification by Brazil. Alenikov. Good turn by Schillaci. Not so much accuracy on the shot, though. Schillaci, who came up from the second division. He was the top scorer for the Sicilian club Messina. And he's repaid the faith that Juventus have shown in him with those 15 goals in the Italian campaign. Bonetti, long raking pass. Barocchi. Good tackle though by Battistini. The way comes Kubik. Baggio's gone hurtling through the middle. This is Nappi. Showed too much of that though to De Napoli. He's such a sturdy defender. Off he goes now. But Nappi has it back again for Fiorentina. Mistakes from both teams here. Rui Baros to Alenikov. Alessio. And the referee has halted play for a free kick to Fiorentina. Schillaci claiming it. Battistini taking it. Dunga now. Fiorentina, who lived among the elite for many years now, but without all that much success. Just 2 Italian titles in 56 and 68, 3 cup wins. But they were the first winners of the European Cup Winners' Cup back in 1961 when they beat Rangers. But they've always been an attractive side, Fiorentina, and a very popular one too in Italy. Holding on to their first division place by the skin of their teeth after their win at the weekend. And they have certainly reserved their better performances, Fiorentina, this season for the cup competitions. But they're holding on well here against Juventus, who started very much the favourites. Rui Baros, Gallia. Juventus at the moment finding Fiorentina hard to break down. 10 minutes into the second half, it's still 1-1. D'Agostini won it back. Rui Baros going all the way. Oh, there were 2 players blocking the shot then. They're appealing for handball. That hasn't been given. Rui Baros going away from Dunga. And there, it came back off one of those players blocking the route to goal. So something of a let-off then for Fiorentina. Fresh hope for Juventus. Free kick given to Fiorentina. Kubik, the Czechoslovakian, is the player down. The confrontation then with Morocchi. Kubik, a controversial signing from Sparta Prague. He missed the second leg against Werder Bremen because of suspension. But back in the Fiorentina side tonight, and he's doing a fair job out there too. But the referee saying that he must carry on or go off for treatment. Dunga swerving that free kick in search of Baggio. On from Dell'Olio. Taccone, who made some fine saves in the first half. Rui Barros. Alenikov claiming he was caught then. Well, he was caught. But the referee allowing Juventus to go on here. And that's a goal kick. So at this stage, Fiorentina have the measure of Juventus. And their confidence will be growing with every passing minute. Gallia having to fetch. Bonetti. Here's Alenikov. Most of the attacking in the second half so far has come from Juventus. But they haven't as yet found a way to penetrate Fiorentina's backline. Perhaps they might here. In for Rui Barros. And Bofficina in to rescue Fiorentina. And that was an important clearance then from Bofficina. Alenikov. Alessio. Rui Barros. Oh, there was a push then, surely. Alessio. And Casiraggio. Casiraggio has scored. And it's 2-1 to Juventus. But the complaints of the Fiorentina defenders that Casiraggio was pushing, for my money anyway, are justified. There's a little shove there. The player goes down. Pina, I think, the defender. Casiraggio able to score then. And the Fiorentina players very angry that the referee didn't award the free kick to them. Now Juventus ahead. What's in store here? Rui Barros. The second goal coming on the hour. Will Juventus go on from here? Oh, can Fiorentina come back as they did in the first half when they went a goal down? Baggio. A skip past one tackle, he was tripped. And Fiorentina very disgruntled by the second goal for Juventus, scored by Casiraggio. Here's Baggio now. Nicked, I think, by Bonetti, as Alenikov tried to tackle him as well. It's very tense out there. And it's pretty tense on the terraces too. A very volatile atmosphere in the stadium as these two Italian sides battle it out in the UEFA Cup final first leg in Turin. And sad to see some trouble in the crowd. The riot police quickly in then to thwart the problem. But it's all very heated. And Baggio is still down, still receiving attention. And this is taking some time. But of course, Fiorentina wouldn't look upon 2-1 as a disaster. They have an away goal. And they will be very anxious not to concede another one. And of course, if they could snatch a second goal themselves, well, we'd have some match on then. Here's the free kick. Fired through. Tacconi could only fist it away. It was an instinctive save then by Tacconi. And Fiorentina looking to snap straight back at Juventus. But it stays at 2-1. Benetti taking the free kick. Free header. And the ball will have to come back for the throw to be taken. It's a Juventus throw. And Graziani, I'm sure, will have been very unhappy about the goal that his team have just conceded. They were defending well, and suddenly a goal goes against them. And a very controversial one it was too. This is Peen, wrestling with Schillaci, and tempers again becoming very frayed. It's an aggressive and at times too aggressive final. Very, very competitive, as you'd expect, of course, particularly between two teams from the same nation. Let's hope the referee can keep control, though. D'Agostini with the free kick. Pozzo for Fiorentina, scorer of their first goal. But they're now 2-1 down. Alenikov to Gallia. Now Marocchi. The referee was right then. The player was backing into his marker. Kubik. Pozzo. Almost at the halfway point in the second half. Juventus in control, but only just. Bonetti comes across. He's been the strong man at the back. D'Agostini ran straight into Dunga, though. Marocchi. And the referee bringing play back for the free kick to be taken. Soriano, the referee from Spain. Another free kick, Marocchi, who's worked tirelessly in Juventus's cause. Still a lot of unrest, as you could see there in the crowd. Being dealt with, though, by the riot police. Battistini. Schillaci. Well, Juventus certainly can't afford to just relax with this 2-1 lead. They'll be looking for further goals. Di Chiara ran straight into Napoli. Kubik. And that surely was handball then. Indeed it was. So free kick to Juventus. The only European club to have won every title available, including the World Club Cup. And they hope anyway, poised to add another success with the UEFA Cup. But Fiorentina, of course, have other ideas. And there hasn't been too much between these two teams tonight. Header on from Nappi. Marocchi in for Rui Barosh. Here's Bonetti. Now Alenikov. Alessio flags up though. Free kick to Fiorentina. Howls of dismay from the Juventus supporters. Well, the linesman on the far side there absolutely adamant. Quite clearly, Fiorentina don't regard 2-1 as a bad result. Even though they must play their home leg on neutral territory. But here's Pozzo. Pursued and harangued by Alenikov. Pozzo goes down, free kick. It's been an untidy second half in many ways so far. A lot of niggling fouls that have rather stopped the flow of the game. Baggio and then Pozzo goes down. Renato Pozzo, the hero of Fiorentina with that equaliser. Only 20 years old. And he is due to return to Juventus at the end of the season. So he won't be too pleased with his teammates having a go at him. His teammates from Juventus, that is. That went through and safely beyond the far post. But it was a scorching drive. Taccone keeping a careful eye on it. Taccone was outstanding in the second leg against Cologne in the semi-final, a goalless draw, and he's proved his value again in this game. Gallia. Alessio underneath this one. Dunga. Bonetti tidies up at the back for Juventus. Leading here by 2-1 in the first leg of the UEFA Cup final. Casiraghi with the second goal for Juventus, after Galea had given them the lead early on. Just a couple of minutes played, in fact, in the first half. And the equaliser from Pozzo for Fiorentina, who are definitely very much still in this final. Alenikov. Galea. The tempo has dropped considerably now. Nobody wants to make a mistake. But not too much is happening. Now, can Marocchi get something going here for Juventus? Pozzo. Stumbled though. Marocchi has been outstanding in this game, and that was the only way they could stop him making progress then. Nappi clatters into him. So free kick to Juventus. Landucci lining up the defensive wall ahead of him, only 2 or 3 players there. The referee's not happy. Wants Dunga further back. Baggio and Pozzo also in the wall, as Landucci prowls along his goal line. The shot got through into the side netting. It took a nick on the way, so it's a corner. Touched off to Schillaci. Down goes Landucci, and he had that post covered. A corner then to Juventus. Taken by Schillaci. And away for another one. Juventus pressing for a third goal. Six corners. Ducci and De Agostini have scored that third goal that Juventus so desperately wanted. That error in the semi-final will haunt him for a long time, and so will this one. Completely misjudging the bounce there. And De Agostini has given Juventus the cushion now, the 2-goal advantage. Bouncing up into the corner. De Agostini can't believe his good fortune. What dismay for Fiorentina, who battle so gamely. Now, is that a penalty? It's not been given. Di Chiara with a heated exchange here. It's Bonetti who tries to get out of his way. Down goes Di Chiara, and the referee shakes his head. No penalty, and now he'll have to sort out the arguments. The fracas is still going on in the penalty area as the substitutes prepare for a possible entrance. And there's still some face slapping going on and finger wagging. Dell'Olio getting involved this time. Now let's look at it again there. That's a very theatrical dive anyway by Di Chiara, and it has not convinced the Spanish referee. It's 3-1 to Juventus, and only a quarter of an hour to go, and that goal could make all the difference really. But if it does stay like this, well, 2-0 is still enough for Fiorentina. They do have this away goal, so they're not out of it yet by any means. But the goal from De Agostini has put a new complexion on the game. And it was a somewhat freakish goal, really. Now, Rui Barros. Peen. They do enjoy a dive, the Italians. Rui Barros obviously held him back. But it can't have been quite as serious as Peen decided to make it look. Anyway, he has the free kick. Delolio is in trouble now. Nappi. Safely back. Gallia. Very calm at the back then. Busso was foolish. Silly thing to do. Well, sportingly anyway, he realised the error of his ways and shook hands with the goalkeeper, who knows him well, of course, as there have been anyway Juventus teammates in the past and will be again next season. Nappi, his foot was very high. And there are some bad tackles going on now. And the referee has got to assert his authority quickly, or this could get out of control. Nappi then was lunging in. De Agostini was the man he caught. And surely a yellow card for Marco Nappi. A pity that he spoiled his performance in this way. A dangerous tackle then, stamping in. De Agostini is back on his feet. Now the Italian international, who scored that third goal, will resume his defensive duties. (3-1), Juventus lead. Delolio to Dunga. Di Chiara. Another free kick. So it's Juventus' turn here then to pull defenders back. They have Dunga, who's very dangerous on set pieces, and Kubik, whose goal against England was from a free kick. 3-4 in the wall now for Juventus. It might be Kubik, it might be Dunga. It's Kubik into the wall. Di Chiara. Juventus trying to scramble it clear, and eventually they succeed. Of course, you can't see the second leg of this final. Fiorentina against Juventus. We're not sure where it'll be played. We think in Lecce. It certainly won't be on Fiorentina's ground, as they're banned from playing at home after trouble in the semi-final. But there's the date, Wednesday the 16th of May, a fortnight from tonight, and that'll be 2200 in the UK, 2300 in the rest of Europe. Don't miss that, will you? Well, the crowd have become a little impatient with all the injuries and stoppages, but at least the Juventus fans are happy enough with the score at the moment anyway. 3-1. Casiraghi, who nipped in for the second goal. But for me, the second goal for Juventus, scored by Casiraghi, was a dubious one, and the third, well, was somewhat fortuitous really, with the shot that bounced over the goalkeeper. So Fiorentina in many ways can count themselves unlucky. And who knows what might happen in the second leg. And this one isn't over yet. We might have some more goals here. Dunga rolling on the ground. The referee was right on the spot. Again, remained unconvinced. Delalio for Fiorentina. Dunga taking over. Well, there's a few players looking a little tired out there now. They've given their all. Napoli's pass. Alessio. Here's Rui Barros with Delalio. And the defender would do well to hold him off. Dunga turned away from Marocchi. In goes Rui Barros. It's another free kick. It's another foul. And almost any time that Baggio threatens to run at defenders, they pull him down. Marocchi claiming there, I think, that he tried to get out of his way, but he certainly made sure that Baggio didn't go on. Now, Dunga might fancy a crack from here. It's a fair way out, mine. But he can really strike a ball. It's the Brazilian forte, of course, the long-range shooting. Tacconi managed to beat it away. Here's Dunga. And off Tacconi again for a corner. It was Dunga who struck the free kick, and Dunga who arrived when Juventus failed to clear it. The goalkeeping of Tacconi again rescued Juventus, though. Fiorentina probing here for a second goal that will give them such hope for the second leg. Kubik through. Marocchi, that was neat defending then. What a prospect he is. It's only Marocchi's second season in the first division. He's in the Italian World Cup squad, and he has been a superb performer in this game for Juventus. The number 10, Giancarlo Marocchi. Alessi. Gallia. Here's Marocchi now. And that's a corner. Alessio will take the kick. No substitution by Fiorentina. They've had three warming up on the touchline for long enough. Schillaci. He had three defenders around him, still found D'Agostini. Baggio, he's tripped. And before tempers get too far out of hand, in steps the referee with a yellow card. Bonetti, the recipient. Well, Baggio's taken a tumbling. And he's taken a battering too. He was saying in our World Cup preview programme that that's been the price he's had to pay for making his way into the World Cup squads. He's taken quite a bashing on the way, and he's picked up a good few bruises. He's become a marked man in Italian football. And we wait to see which club he will be playing for next season. Dunga. Well, it just seems to be one free kick after another. This time a foul by Del Olio, who seemed to be looking for his man Marocchi then. Chased him all the way, and down he went. Marocchi, who's been at the heart of almost everything that Juventus have attempted in this game. But with 4 minutes to go, Juventus still lead Fiorentina by 3-1. Battistini away. Another player who will be on the move at the end of the season, Battistini. Now, Baggio, he could be in here. Oh, again, fine goalkeeping by Tacconi, who's now involved in a scrap with Nappi. Bonetti's attempted clearance coming back off Baggio. There's the cross, Tacconi plucking it out of the air. And there, a little kick on the backside from Nappi. And because of the reaction of goalkeeper Tacconi, he now has the yellow card. Nappi, of course, has already been cautioned. So he was risking quite a lot then by tangling with Tacconi. Just a couple of minutes to go in this first leg of the UEFA Cup final. Still everything to play for in the return, if it should stay this way. Just to underline, 2-0 would be enough for Fiorentina to win the trophy. In this, their first appearance in the UEFA Cup final. And Juventus, of course, remain the favourites. Kubik. And it was Marocchi this time who left his foot trailing. I'm not sure if the referee spotted it, but Kubik certainly felt it. Here's Kubik now. Nice touch on the ball. Spinning off the defender, but not over the line, was it? No. Tacconi kept it in play. Not long to go now. "40 seconds of normal time, plus some to be added on for various stoppages." Del Kubik. Turned back into Aladrén though. Now, Alessio. Is there a foul there? The referee saw nothing wrong. Here's Baggio. Striking it through. Busso. He was surrounded by defenders though. Dichiara. He's checked unfairly. So the free kick just a few feet outside the penalty area. Aladrén going in hard. So too was Bonetti. Dichiara, some fine runs in the first half. Not too many opportunities to shine though in the second. But there's a chance here for Fiorentina to score what would be a vital second goal. In the meantime, a very late substitution in injury time. Rui Barros thinks he's coming off, but I think it's the Fiorentina substitute who's coming on. Rui Barros is staying on the field. So, the free kick then. Denga, who played it in. A roar of relief around the ground from the Juventus supporters. Bonetti, tall, powerful figure, heads it clear. Another player goes flying to the ground. Again, the referee ignores the protests. And here's Nappi. Benetti with time to play it out. We've had almost 2 minutes now of stoppage time. Schillaci and Volpacina. Well, their little feud has been simmering all night. And the first offender there was Schillaci with that tackle. It's anybody's guess what happens from there on. Now, deep into injury time. It's all over now. The final whistle has been blown. And Juventus, with those 2 goals in the second half, have come through the first leg by 3 goals to 1. Graziani, being interviewed there, will know that his team are still in there fighting. That away goal could yet prove very important. But just to recap, they must play the second leg on neutral territory, probably in Lecce. So Juventus have the upper hand at this stage. They've come through the first leg by 3 goals to 1. From Peter Brackley and us all here, we hope you've enjoyed the coverage of the final, and we'll be back again after a short break.